Hey kiddos, so great to see you. We're going to do Sunday school a little bit different over the next little bit. And so we're going to do some exciting things. There's going to be more things coming. But this morning I just wanted to read you a story that I found actually a little while ago. And I love how God gives us things when we need them. And so he gave us this book that I'm going to read to you this morning. So it's called Quinn's Promise Rock. And if you happen to come into the church this week and grab a rock, this is where you're going to need it. So bring out your rock. If not, that's okay. Any rock will do. You might have one outside. And if not, that's okay. You actually don't need a rock. It's just one little thing that you can have with you for today's story. But let's get started. So this book is called Quinn's Promise Rock. It's written by Khristie Thomas, who actually lives here in Alberta, which I think is pretty cool. All right, here we go. Well, Quinn was a thoughtful little owl who always had a lot of questions. One night, Quinn and her father went flying together. As they soared through the forest searching for some dinner, Quinn had a sudden, scary thought. "Daddy," she asked. "Yes, my little owl. What if I get lost? What if you dive and I don't notice? What if you get too far ahead of me and I can't find you? You fly so quietly. What if..." Quinn's father was smiling. He turned away slowly and started flying toward a mountain. Quinn followed him. Why wasn't her father saying anything? Quinn flapped her wings harder as she flew up, 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 and she started to breathe heavier. Where were they going? Her father circled around a huge stone on top of the mountain and then perched on it. Quinn landed and puffed hard as she tried to catch her breath. "Daddy," she panted, "why did we come way up here?" Her father lifted his wing and pointed toward the forest far below. "Do you see that tree way down there?" he asked. Quinn nodded. "Do you recognize it?" Quinn's bright owl eyes looked keenly at the tree, and then she blurted, "That's our tree. That's where our nest is." Her father nodded and said, "This mountain will always be here. It never moves, and it always shows you the way to get home." "Quinn, God is like this rocky mountain. God is always here. He never changes, and he will never leave. He will show you the way you should go." Quinn nodded thoughtfully. Suddenly, she felt a drop on her beak, and then another drop on her head. Her father spread his wings and started flying back down the mountain. Quinn followed. The rain started to come down faster, and the wind gusts came in harder. It pushed Quinn's little owl body this way and that, and she became frightened. Cold water poured off her feathers, and she could barely see her father through the raindrops. Her father slowed down and then landed inside a tiny cave on the side of the mountain. Quinn landed beside him and shook the water off her feathers. Her father lifted a wing, and Quinn snuggled underneath it to warm up. As the storm roared on, her father hugged her close and said, "This cave is a safe place. It protects us from the wind and the rain." "Quinn, God is like this rocky cave. God can protect you during the scariest times in life. When you feel afraid, he is right there, just like this cave, and you can take shelter in him." Eventually, the storm stopped and the sky cleared. The stars came out, and Quinn and her father started off again under the shining moon. They flew silently through the night, sometimes swooping down to eat, but mostly just flying side by side. Just as Quinn was starting to get quite tired, her father dove toward the ground and landed right on the forest floor. Quinn landed beside him and looked up at him with wide, wondering eyes. Quinn's father picked up a little rock with his talon and gave it to her. Then he looked into Quinn's eyes and said, "If you tuck this rock into your feathers, you can carry it everywhere you go. You will feel it hard against your body. Quinn, God is like this tiny rock. Even though he is big like a mountain and safe like a cave, you can also carry him everywhere you go. God is always with you. Quinn's eyes grew even bigger. So if I get lost or scared, I can feel my little rock and remember that God is with me. That's right, my thoughtful little owl. God will show you the way you should go. He will be a safe place, and he will always be with you. The sun began to rise, and Quinn tucked the little rock into a safe place in her feathers. As she and her father flew home, she could hardly wait to tell her mama about the strange and wonderful night. Best of all, she would show her her little promised rock. The end. So I wanted to tell you that to keep that little rock with you as a reminder that God is always with you. And I want to share a verse with you. In Philippians 4, it says this. It says, do not be anxious about anything. So do not worry about anything. But in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So boys and girls, this means that we're not to worry, that we are to bring all our fears, all our worries straight to Jesus. We're to pray, we're to ask him to remind us that he's with us, that he will never leave us, and that he's going to be with us through the scary times, through the happy times, that he loves us so much. And so I just want to encourage you today to remember that God is with you, and that he hears all your prayers, and he wants to hear all your prayers. So make sure that you're speaking to Jesus, that you, whenever you're scared or whenever you're happy, he wants to hear from you. So spend time with Jesus today. All right, guys, we'll see you again soon. Praying for you all, love you all. Big hugs from Pastor Khristie. See you later.